Who knew that a sudden unplanned trip can leave you with memories that will outshine any other? When I started out on this trip, I was initially very excited, but as time grew closer, I started getting cold feet. That's because I had booked into the Krishna Heritage Hotel in Badami. What worried me was that this hotel was given an online ranking of 3 stars, and the other hotels around the area didn't seem too appealing for my overthinking brain, which is why I decided to book at the Krishna Heritage Hotel in Badami. I'm going to start off by giving a special shout out to the entire management and the team who made our trip and our visit to this hotel so special. I don't know who has ranked them as a 3-star hotel. It's actually top notch and 5 stars in my opinion. When we arrived into our rooms, we were shocked at how spacious the entire room was. We could practically accommodate 1 or 2 more mattresses on the flooring area. There was a seating area, a sofa seating area, there was a large washroom, there was these beautiful windows that you could open in the morning and experience the greenery, the sunlight, the air, and the harmony around the nature. There was an option to stay in the wooden cabins. We weren't very comfortable with that option, so we decided to stay in the proper villa row houses. Yet, they did look very cozy. There is one big dining area, which is quite a famous restaurant in Badami apparently. But when we got down to having breakfast for the first day, it did look a little empty, a little suspicious. But when we got down to plating and taking up breakfast buffets, we made it a party amongst ourselves. The customer service was great, the servers were fantastic, and I actually enjoyed having breakfast here for the remaining few days that we were at Badami. We did also order in dine-in dinner on one of the days, and on the other day we had dinner at the same restaurant. It was top notch, very highly recommended. In fact, I even saw people from the city come in groups and have celebrations there and have a party there and enjoy the food. And honestly, after living here for a couple of days, I realized that the Heritage Hotel Badami was actually a benchmark for other resorts in the town. These are some of the glimpses of the Badami caves alongside Pattadakal and Aihole. These are terms which historians and students of art would know better. These are historic places essentially with great access to some of our heritage. These are UNESCO sites, so they are obviously protected, and they're official tour guides within the area. I do recommend having your own car and your own driver, or if to come in a group, so that sightseeing is not much of a hassle. You can avoid these salesmansy people that approach you whilst you're parking. Head directly to the site where no one's going to trouble you or ask you to buy things. We also visited the Agastya River, which was a space of its own. Some of the cavings were so magnificent that it almost felt unreal. This is a recording of how emotionally invested and how amazing our tour guide was. He actually started explaining us without a notebook. He visually drew things on the ground, on the mud, and that's how he explained the structure and the architecture of some of these temples.
नॉर्थ इंडिया और एक पार्ट क्या है सुकनाथ का नॉर्थ इंडिया साउथ इंडिया मिक्स इधर
Wow.
और एक मंदिर क्या है वास्तुशास्त्र मंदिर है विरूपाक्ष मंदिर है कंपाउंड वाल है जी पहला क्या है मल्लप्रभा सेकेंड इज एंट्रेंस गेट और बुल टेंपल मुखमंडप पूर्व दक्षिण उत्तर बाद में सभा मंडप डांसिंग हॉल एपिक स्टोरी रामायण महाभारत प्रार्थना मंदिर शिव का मूर्ति है तो गर्भगृह नदी में स्थान हो गया एंट्रेंस में आता है नदी दर्शन हो गया मुख मंडप सभा मंडप प्रार्थना मंदिर गर्भगृह और बाहर जाने के लिए रास्ता है एग्जिट वास्तुशास्त्र मंदिर है वास्तुशास्त्र मालूम हो गया गणित शास्त्र मालूम हो गया मेटलर्जी लो शास्त्र मालूम हो गया प्रोपोर्शन शिल्प शास्त्र अनोटॉमी शरीर रचना शास्त्र मिट्टी कैसा है लाल मिट्टी जियोग्राफी मालूम हो गया जी
A part of me was still processing how one could build structures of this size and proportion at an era and age when things were not as modern as they are today. The same resources were definitely not there, but yet, with their skill and ingenuity, they could make structures of this size and magnitude. I'm not going to deny there was an air of mystique and enigma as you drove past the town. The thing that stood out to me was that UNESCO did a great job with preservation and maintenance of the structures in Pattadakal, Aihole, and Badami. Kudos to the archaeological team of India and UNESCO.